Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the Coaxium Cantina. I'm Benjamin.
And I'm Aiden.
In today's episode, we're just going to have a nice chat about the Mortis Arc.
One of
Now,
the greatest arcs in all the Clone Wars.
yeah, basically, me and Aiden were watching the Clone Wars. Yes, last night, whenever it was.
Last night, which was also yesterday.
Yeah, because I'm doing a Clone Wars review on my Instagram, so it's definitely not a blog. But we were doing that, and we were watching Mortis Arc, and it's so good. We want to talk about it. So
That's literally the premise of today's video.
yeah,
That's just it.
yeah. Aiden, the Mortis Arc.
The Mortis Arc.
Also, I'm about to let you have your thoughts, but I just want to put one thing out there before we start. Sam Witwer is a god.
Oh yeah. No, that man knows how to voice act. Like, he's a
Right,
beast.
I, I, this is the first time watching where I've actually known that Sam Witwer was the son,
Mm.
and
God, has it genuinely been that long
now
since you last watched it?
now I can actually hear Sam Witwer's voice in it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god. Right, Aiden, your thoughts on the Mortis Arc? Let's go.
Where to start? Where to start? One of my favourite bits of the Mortis Arc is like this is my crowning moment for it is the Vader vision.
I knew what you were gonna say instantly. As soon as I said Aiden, let's go, I knew what you wanted to talk about.
If I ever do a questions about me kind of thing, and I say what is my favorite moment from the Mortis arc, if you don't answer that, we are not friends, because that moment is amazing.
It's
It's
so
ah, and it's just the Vader
it's.
music and the Vader.
I
Oh,
mean, I've said to you before that I really want to like get a proper printer and print out shots from movies and have them as posters.
yeah.
The bit where it's the Darth Vader as the Cloud with Anakin on his knees. That is why I want to do that. That shot is the most insane shot, probably in the Clone Wars, and it's up there in Star Wars. It's
It's
just,
just brilliant.
it's just insane.
That's good writing for you.
It
That is
is,
how you make a goddamn Star Wars
and
scene.
this arc is so symbolic for the rest of Star Wars as well.
Oh yeah, like the entirety of Star Wars, all the key concepts is filtered down into a single
Yeah,
episode.
I mean, it literally. I mean, I'm no doubt we'll have a discussion about this in another episode, but where the debate is whether Anakin is actually the chosen one or not. I don't think this arc confirms that Anakin is the chosen one, but it's the chosen one with red one kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just the way that Anakin just brings the daughter and the son both to their knees is just
That is
oh
again one of the cool. It's the demonic voice as well behind it. He just goes down on your knees. Oh my god.
it's just so insane. And I was while I was watching it this time round, I was kind of thinking about so you have the father who's supposed to be balanced,
Yeah.
and then you have the daughter who's obviously light, and the son who's obviously dark.
Mm.
So when they kind of all die, is my question is the father, because you know when they say, oh, the chosen one hasn't been the chosen one prophecy hasn't been around for years, for
Mm.
thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
Do you reckon the father that was on Mortis? Do you reckon he was the last chosen one?
Well, this is what I was kind of saying to you yesterday with the whole canon legends debacle of the birth of the ones. Um, because I don't think they were. like they were until they interacted with certain points on Mortis. So I think that it could be possible if there is more than one chosen one myth in the lifetime of the Star Wars universe, then I probably would agree with you and say that the father could have been the chosen one, and then when his when his children turned into the other ones, he decided to remain to keep them in balance.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, and
But I was thinking
oh,
about the Skywalker family and how if Anakin, I would say that Anakin's probably, it's really weird because the way that they laid out was the father was balanced, then the two children were light and dark. But I think with Anakin, it's more Anakin was Anakin was dark, Luke was balanced, and Leia was light.
yeah,
Maybe I just find
yeah,
it
no,
really
that's
interesting the comparison between Luke, Leia, and Anakin, the father, the son, the daughter, and obviously Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka.
yeah,
Because I think in that scenario, Ahsoka would be balanced, Obi-Wan would be light, and Anakin would be dark.
yeah. Oh, there's so many subtle little things they added. I loved the reappearance of Qui-Gon, but you obviously thought a tad differently to me, didn't you?
Well, I didn't not like
Because
it. I just don't
no,
think
no,
it was
with
actually.
regards to the
I
concept,
don't think it was actually him. I think it was Obi-Wan and Anakin's imagination.
well, I personally, in my mind, the evidence adds up, and I think if Mortis is a dimension of strong force energy, it would make sense that beings that are one with the force would be able to communicate through there.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that it wasn't like when the sun turned into Shmi,
Mm.
because you knew that was the sun. It was a very demonic representation, and then when he got angry, he kept flickering between his beast form um and Anakin's mum like appearance.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think the
whereas
fact that
Qui-Gon was very
Qui-Gon's
ghostly.
vision with Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon's appearance with Obi-Wan happened just after Anakin had his vision and Ahsoka had her vision. I think it was the sun getting in the head of it.
Yeah, true, but then I don't know. I just think it works out too well.
Yeah. But it's such a good sequence of episodes, and it just makes the rest of Star Wars so just that much better, knowing that there's this going on.
Mm,
Another thing that it does, and this is what the whole Clone Wars does perfectly, um, is it makes the story of Anakin that much more tragic
yeah,
because it all could have been avoided. Everything that happened could have been avoided if certain things had happened. I mean, in other episodes, it's like Ahsoka and Obi-Wan both having a love interest. That that detail is important because it means that Anakin could have asked both of them and they both would have understood
yeah,
and they both could have helped. With this one, it's Anakin seeing the future and he, he would have done things to not become what he knew he would become.
yeah.
But then the
Oh,
father
that's
erased his memory.
well. That one's an interesting one because whilst the father erased his memory, at the same time, Anakin was under
Mm,
the reign of the sun, and when Obi-Wan went to the Dark Well, Anakin still said that it was the Jedi that were the problem.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that would have been really interesting if the sun would have led him to the exact same scenario, or
Mm,
whether it would have been different.
yeah. But I guess the father had the power to not like get him out of the son's spell, I guess is the word,
Yeah.
without erasing his memory.
Mm.
And I don't think, like, I think Anakin, how he was in the Clone Wars, would not have done the same route if he knew what happened. Like, he
Yeah.
wouldn't have blamed the Jedi for it. It's only Episode 3 where he starts to be manipulated by Palpatine, where he starts playing the Jedi because someone else is telling him to play the Jedi.
Yeah.
I think it shows that Anakin is probably easily manipulated. That's the problem.
Mm.
Also, speaking about Palpatine, the, what kind of, the sons of red lightning.
Oh, so cool.
Personally, I want to know what the difference between the sun's red lightning and Palpatine's blue lightning is.
Well, from my thought of it is because we know, I'm not sure if this is canon or legends, but we know that Plo Koon has a light side adaptation
Yeah, he does.
of Force
Cool.
Lightning.
It's called Force Judgment.
Yeah, but that is a light side version, and that's yellow, so we can obviously assume that that's a
Yeah,
purity of the light side.
but he still wasn't allowed to use it.
But it was still a kind of forbidden
Yeah,
technique. Um,
I'm not sure
and
if
we
he
know
did
that
use it,
obviously,
but I know he wasn't
I
allowed to.
I'd probably say he might have used it from time to time.
Yeah,
But we know that with regards to Dooku and Palpatine, they were obviously Sith who had studied it and been able to master it.
yeah,
But when, with regards to the Son, I feel like he is the purest embodiment of the dark side that we've seen. Like, whilst Palpatine is one of the most evil beings in the galaxy,
hmm
the Son is actually pure darkness.
yeah,
So in my mind, that's like the purest form of dark force lightning.
yeah. I mean, I thought that as well. Like, the red would obviously symbolize the darkest, most evil, pure, no, darkest, most evil lightning kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that then undermines Palpatine. Like maybe if 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 Dooku had blue lightning, then maybe Palpatine had red lightning when he actually became Palpatine, like Emperor
Mm.
Palpatine. Then it would make sense that the just pure evil has red lightning. But I think the fact that Palpatine doesn't have red lightning,
I
like,
I suppose it doesn't necessarily undermine Palpatine, but I'd say it makes the Son seem that much more dangerous.
hmm,
Because it's not necessarily saying that Palpatine is weak. We know
yeah,
over 3 trilogies
yeah,
how powerful he is, but it's just the fact that we know that
oh,
the Son is obviously meant to be something unseen, which
yeah.
is in the same case with the daughter because she's pure light.
Imagine in the
So,
Rise of Skywalker if when Palpatine unleashes lightning, it turned out red, not blue.
can you
That
imagine
would have been insane.
The Force lightning tree, but
Oh,
red?
this is why people. This is why we need people who watch Star Wars to make Star Wars.
Oh God, I think with I think as another episode we should explore the script.
Oh yeah, definitely. We should definitely do that.
Um, Bit of context: the apparent concept script for the Rise of Skywalker focused heavily on Mortis, so
Yeah,
we might explore that
yeah, definitely.
in future episodes.
But another point I wanted to make was what while we were watching it, you said this, and I can't remember what you said afterwards, but it was something about the world between worlds.
Oh yeah, because it didn't click with me because I haven't watched Rebels like properly for ages. Was that when Anakin was walking through the monastery, I was like, oh, this architecture seems very world between worlds-ish.
Yeah,
But then I remembered when Ezra visited it in Rebels that outside um, painting or the mural was the father, the son, and the daughter,
Oh
and
yeah.
he unlocked it by moving the painting.
This is why.
And then when he went in, it was the same.
This is why I'm gonna rewatch all the Star Wars TV shows. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that is, well, as you now discovered, that is the point of the World Between Worlds. It's all to do with Mortis, and it's all linked with the Force and stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, the interesting thing is, if we look at this properly, then at the end of Rebels, I'm not sure how the Mandalorian ties into this, but at the end of Rebels, Ahsoka is guarding the World Between Worlds,
Mm.
and she has, oh yeah, because she has the bird that was the daughter,
Yeah.
but she's now obviously not a Jedi or a Sith. So does that mean she is now the balance in Mortis?
Well, she's not in Mortis. That's I'd say a misconception. She's guarding a gateway
To Mortis.
to well, to the world between
Well,
worlds,
yeah, yeah,
not Mortis.
yeah.
Um, oh, which is in fairness another question. If the world between worlds would be able to access Mortis, and I'm guessing it would.
But that's another thing though. If this Mortis thing is what controls the Force, no one's there anymore.
True. In fact, we don't even know if it's still a place, to be honest, because when the crystal shattered at the end, when all of the ones died, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka were all teleported into their ship and
Oh
thrown out
yeah,
of
yeah,
Mortis. We don't even know if Mortis is still there anymore.
yeah. I think it definitely has to be explored more.
Oh God,
Somewhere it has to be
definitely.
explored more.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just one of the coolest places in Star Wars, and it
It's,
only had a single arc.
yeah, it's a shame because it it would have been so cool to see this place in live action with all the.
Mm.
You know, I was saying to you while we were watching it, imagine like all through it, I was like, imagine this in live action. Imagine doing this in live
Yeah.
action. Another thing I want to talk about, which I just remembered, Anakin versus Ahsoka.
That was interesting. I
What did you think
really
about
liked
that?
that fight. I really liked it because as soon as she started attacking him, you could tell the first time he went defensive, and you could see how bad he was at it because he's so used to like on the offensive,
Mm,
but it was because it was Ahsoka and he didn't want to hurt her. But you could see how kind of like he was trying to dodge everything and how
yeah,
clumsily he was blocking her strikes.
I mean, I hate to sound like a lightsaber enthusiast,
I
but
know what you're gonna say, just say it.
Anakin went straight to Form 3, which is the form that Obi-Wan uses, which is the defensive form.
Mm.
And I, yeah, no, I think that's literally the first time Anakin probably has ever used Form 3.
Yeah.
I can't think of a fight that Anakin's been in where he's used Form 3. He usually goes straight to, I think it's Form 5, which is the aggressive one.
Yeah.
So the fact that Ahsoka went straight into Form 5, Anakin was so bad at Form 3, it was great. And then Obi-Wan came with obviously the dagger of Mortis, which, why, just why would you throw it?
I mean, in fairness,
No,
I don't think he was planning for her to catch it.
well, no, but you have no, 6 beings who can all use the Force. Why would you throw a dagger?
Also, one other bit was that she was under the sun's control, and Anakin was like, "Oh, any ideas?" And Obi-Wan just activated the dagger, and he was like, "Yes, we can cut her through with this." Was he
Yeah, how are they
planning
going
to
to cut her
stab her,
through?
or was he just gonna nick her,
Yeah,
or
I don't know. So if he stabbed her, then
she just bleeds out? Oh, Obi-Wan, I'm fine. Oh wait,
oh wait, I'm dead anyway.
yeah. It it was definitely an interesting one.
Also, Can somebody tell me how the daughter saved Ahsoka, considering the daughter was dying anyway?
She used the last amount of life force in her to bring her back, which you can compare to force healing. So technically,
Okay,
it yeah, it works.
fair enough.
But
No, I was a bit confused there because I swear she's dying anyway. So how did she have the strength to?
yeah, just ask Ray. She
Yeah,
explained it. Um, but another thing
BB-8 would
that
have
I
done the same.
probably yeah, BB-8 would have, because you know he physically can. Um, he
BB-8
just
is
shoots
full of
a
life force.
he just shoots like a Bacta machine gun.
Yeah, why not?
Um, something that I loved a lot more than I should have was when Ahsoka and Obi-Wan first met the son, and Obi-Wan was like, "You're a Sith," and then he just waves his hand and just turns both of their lightsabers off.
Oh, that
Just
was
he
brilliant.
he didn't even care. He was like in the dark. His eyes were like glowing with this evil voice, and he was just like, "You're a Sith." No, I'm not a Sith. Vroom. Wave just shuts everything
Oh,
down.
and the bit where Anakin was pointing his lightsaber and in the face of the father, and he just grabs it
Just
and just
grabbed it. Oh,
nah.
I mean, that is just badass. He just
It's great.
see that's a poster I'd have. Him holding the blade of the saber.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also, the most insulting bit of this entire trilogy, he grabs Obi-Wan's Episode 3 lightsaber and Ahsoka's lightsaber and tosses it behind him.
he does.
If I had those two lightsabers, I'll tell you one thing I wouldn't do: toss it behind me.
You do a bloody Grievous and just go a fine addition to my collection.
Yeah, yeah. I guess he has no.
Oh,
Is it? It's just interesting how the lightsabers that are viewed as the most powerful thing ever, like
they
against
just
all the
like
villains and stuff, and they come to a Force planet and they're just like, what the hell is that?
yeah. It's just like can we just have a normal chat?
Yeah,
That's literally what they do. Instead of fighting, they're just like, oh, we'll have a chat instead.
yeah,
Because the lightsabers do not bother them whatsoever. The sun was blocking it with his bare hands.
yeah, 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 yeah.
He's just oh.
And I'm pretty sure the the daughter and the son's fight was just like, um,
It was just like lightning, deflect, lightning, deflect,
yeah,
lightning, deflect.
it's a bit like. Actually, no, that was another thing that I said to you. The light versus the daughter versus the son was a lot like Palpatine versus Yoda in Episode 3.
Yes, yes, no, I agree with
That's
that.
another symbolic thing that I noticed. Literally, the dark being Palpatine and the light being Yoda. The fight looked exactly the same, and I
Mm.
appreciated that. Luckily, one of them wasn't a green comic book.
And you know, fell about 5 stories.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Imagine if they just started throwing Senate chairs at them.
I mean, to be fair, the son's throne room didn't exactly look that furnished.
No, no, I didn't. Anyway, so that was. Any more thoughts on the Mortis arc before we?
Other than it's one of the greatest arcs ever, and if it was in live action, I would kill someone to get it. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I loved it.
just think, and that just think that Colin, if this script is real, that means what Colin Trevorrow did was wrote that script, handed it to, I would imagine, Kathleen Kennedy, and she read it
And
and went, nah.
she said no. She said no
If it was
to
Kathleen Kennedy,
that.
which is most likely.
Because that's the thing. Guys, when we explore it in the episode, we'll obviously go into depth with it. But I refuse to believe that this is a fan fiction. I refuse to
If
believe
someone
that this
wrote,
is
if
fan
someone
made.
wrote that script,
Props to them.
why label it as something that they wrote?
Yeah,
Claim it yourself.
I honestly, if this was fan made, I want to shake their hands because this was honestly one of the greatest things I have ever read,
Yeah.
like in my life with regards to Star Wars
Mm.
and just films in general. It was amazing.
Anyway, Leave your thoughts on the Mortis Arc in the comments down below. Do you want more arc reviews like this? Then let us know. I'm pretty sure we'll be more than happy to do one for the Carnage of Grail
Oh, Carnage of Grail. Damn you. Damn you.
and the I'm just going to call it the Shattered Arc. I don't think it's called the Shattered Arc
I would have said
or the
Order
66. Yeah, that's what a normal person would say. But anyway.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you
just
guys.
wanted to incorporate the title.
Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.